Oh, you want more? I guess you enjoyed our chat from the last time. Cool. So yes, capital G here. And I want to talk about a little something that I spotted on Facebook. Well, I actually spotted it a couple of weeks ago, but now I have a chance to get my thoughts together. I want to tell you about it. And someone I have on my Facebook is the lead creator of an independent game called Memories of a Vagabond. It is an RPG. It was made with the RPG Maker engine. I actually did a playthrough of an early demo of the game, very early demo of the game on my channel, and the game has improved obviously a lot since then. The game had been released back in September, full release, so that's cool. And I took time to read some of the reviews of the game, like what people thought of it. I mean, the game looks good, it controls very well. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Some people are not so impressed with the story. They find it very, very ordinary, but they've probably played a lot of RPGs. And this game was meant to be a lot like other RPGs, so it wasn't going to be too innovative in story. The big innovation of the game is that if your character dies, you encounter death and you can choose a class. If your character were to die again later on, you have the option of choosing the same class or a new class, but you retain everything you've learned. So all the warrior abilities you've learned, you can bring into a wizard class. Really neat concept. I haven't played the full game yet, mainly because of my lack of patience with turn-based RPGs. I finished 2. I've played FF7, never finished it. FF8, never finished it. Chrono Trigger, never finished it. Lufia 2, never finished them. The only RPGs I've ever finished were Magical Star Sign and Sonic Chronicles, both on the Nintendo DS. Again, that's basically because I have a lack of patience for turn-based RPGs. I made it to Disc 3 in Final Fantasy VII and then kinda died. My motivation to play the game kind of died. I just couldn't keep going. It was too long, too big, too much. Great game. I'm not saying they're bad games. They are great games. I know a great game when I see it. I know a great RPG when I see it. I just want to move on to other games more quickly than RPGs allow, I guess. But that's not what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is the fact that it's an independent release. It hasn't lit up the world, but it was doing well for the Dark Elite team, creators of the game, until very recently when the game started showing up on torrents. Once the game started showing up on torrents, their sales all but died. So the story goes, of course, I don't have numbers. I haven't had a chance to contact them and ask for specific numbers, like how well was the game selling beforehand, how's it doing now, kind of thing. What I can tell you is, well, I've got the Memories of a Vagabond webpage open here, and I'm just going to take a screenshot. The power of the print screen button. Gonna use that. I'm going to post a picture of the game's official site. Actually, I'm going to post 2 pictures. One showing the homepage, where you can actually listen to the music in the game. It's actually a pretty neat feature. And now I'm going to show you the shop page and how much they want for the game from their website. Downloaded 157 megabytes, 157.35 to be precise. How much they want for their game. Purchased directly from them, $7 US, essentially. Rounding up. If you wish to buy it on Shiny Loot, I've never heard of these guys. Nonetheless, if you want to buy from Shiny Loot, $5 USD. five American dollars. Now, I'm no angel. Back in the day, there were some games that I downloaded but mainly they were games that I could not find. There used to be a huge abandonware scene in the early internet days, where there were a lot of older games you couldn't really find in stores anymore at the time. And if you wanted to play them, you had to find them online and download them. And in due time, there was a crackdown because although these games were not readily available in retail outlets, copyrights were still held. Copyrights are good for 25, 30, 50 years, depending on how long they apply for, I guess. And there's a huge crackdown, and now abandonware sites are incredibly rare. There might be a few that have actively seek permission to distribute games that are still around, but outside of that, it's not really a thing. But at least in those days, we were downloading games that we couldn't find unless we got really, really lucky at the local thrift shop, or perhaps the local flea markets. So today we are torrenting a $5 indie game. Now, Memories of Igron is not the only example of this, I'm sure. It's guaranteed certain that there are other independent games that are affected by torrents. But I don't understand why people are torrenting independent games that cost 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. Actually, it's probably cheaper than 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. I don't know, I don't go very often because the 2-3 times I've gone to Starbucks, well, they just sucked. I'm not a coffee guy. Probably should drink more coffee. Might help with the lines around my eyes. I don't know. But point is, someone I personally know and someone I know through association have been personally affected by torrents, by torrenting their game. It's a project they spent 4 years on and off working on. They didn't work on this full time. They have real jobs too. But anytime they can add a piece of music or change up the artwork, add a new gameplay element, what have you, they put it in. And right now they are translating the game into French. I'm surprised they did the English version first and then the French, but the French version, they are working on it, doing translations, and they'll eventually release that. But I don't know if they'll still release it or not at this point. But I digress. The game was successful enough that the guy that made this game wanted to do a new one, a platform game, a steampunk style game, a steampunk themed platforming game, which I like the idea of. Obviously, it's not the most original idea. Steampunk themed platforming games probably exist somewhere. All you do is probably punch in a Google search and there it is. But why not? He loved making this game. He released it. He had some success with it. Again, I don't have exact figures, but he had success with it until the torrents kicked in. I don't know. If we're torrenting a game that costs less than 2 cups of coffee, I don't understand why anyone would have to do that. Why are we cheap enough to do that? One of those things I just don't understand in life, I guess. Again, I was no angel. I used to download some games. Again, it was mostly older games at the time. I downloaded the 2D Duke Nukem games when Duke Nukem 3D was already a couple of years old. You couldn't find the 2D Duke Nukem games in store. It just was not a thing. Same thing, if anyone remembers Jill of the Jungle, which is a bit older than that. So, you know. Okay, so, yeah, confessing my downloading sins, at least at the time, they were just games that I could not find in person, even if I tried. This is a game that's easily searchable, findable. Memories of a Vagabond. Google. Done. Come right to this webpage and you can get it. Or if you there's some indie game sites, you can find it on RPG Maker Net. Obviously you can find it on Shiny Loot. Probably a few other sites that feature independent games where you can find it. So, I just kind of find it sad, and I wanted to bring it to attention that there are people who work 4 or 5 years on a little indie, and just a tiny little indie game, put all the time and energy they can into it, and then torrents basically take away all their hard work. That's... it's mind-boggling. I don't get it. I don't like it. I think an injustice was done. Whoever put it up there and whoever started downloading it. This was not necessary. It was reasonably priced. They put the effort into getting this game out, put the effort into promoting it. And all their hard work just became another torrent stream. Yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions out of it. I clearly don't like this, and if there's anyone who agrees or disagrees, there's the comment box down there. Yeah, I'm starting to learn this whole blog thing. Comment box, use it. There's a comment box. There's also a share button. Use that share button. Let people know that this injustice was done. And if you like the RPGs, I mean, you can get the demo for free. At least try the demo, and if you like the game, you know what you have to do. But don't torrent it. Do not torrent it. If any of you who have watched this video torrents this game, I'm going to fly out to wherever you are and I'm going to punch you in the face. Okay, that's an empty threat, but you know, you get the point. You deserve to get punched in the face. So yes. Comment box if you agree or disagree. Do you have any other stories of other independent gamers, independent game makers that were just starting out and then have their money taken away by torrents and piracy? Share it with me, make other videos, make a video about this game, make a video about other games. Let me know if you know anyone who's experienced it, if you've experienced it yourself. Definitely want to hear back on this one. That's what I've got for today. So, today is the 30th of December. This will probably go up in like the 2nd or so, because I won't have time to upload it for a while after I render. But, yeah. That's my thoughts. Want to hear your thoughts, and I will see you next time.